Hello and welcome to this Engineers Week webinar. We are coming to you live from the theatre in Engineers Ireland on Friday, the 3rd of February. But we're also recording this session and we'll be making it available on the Engineers Week website from the middle of next week. My name is Sylvia Leatham and I'm the team leader of the STEPS programme here at Engineers Ireland, and my colleague Abby is here with me today as well, and she's going to be fielding me any questions that come up. So we have an email address there on the screen, so you can send in any questions that you have during this session to engineerswebcast@gmail.com. That's just if you're watching live. So this webinar is for anyone who wants to get involved in Engineers Week. Whether you want to organise an event, go out and visit your local school, or take part online. There's lots of things that you can do during the week, and we're going to help you prepare for all that today. So this is what we're going to go through over the next 30 minutes or so. We're going to start with what's new in Engineers Week this year. I know there's a lot of people watching who are Engineers Week veterans, so I want to show you what's new this year. Also then we'll give some tips on how to run a successful Engineers Week event, and then I'll take you through the supports that we have for our event organisers, all of the resources that are available for you to use and to promote your event, and then we'll talk a little bit about how to deliver school or library visits, which I know a lot of people are interested in during the week. So again, any questions, you can send them in during the webinar and we'll address them at the end, or maybe even as we go along, to engineerswebcast@gmail.com. So just a little refresher or reminder about what Engineers Week is, or if you're new to Engineers Week, you're very welcome and we're happy to have you on board. It is essentially a week-long programme of nationwide events celebrating the world of engineering in Ireland. And this year it takes place from the 4th to the 10th of March. So we have about 4 weeks to go to get ready. And the aim of the week is to create a positive awareness of the engineering profession among young people, so that the main audiences are school audiences and the general public as well. So here at the STEPS programme at Engineers Ireland, we coordinate the week and we work in strategic partnership with Science Foundation Ireland under the umbrella of Smart Futures. So we're funded by Science Foundation Ireland, the Department of Education, and we're also supported by a number of major engineering companies. You can see their logos here on the screen. So we coordinate the week, but Engineers Week is really a grassroots movement, and we need people like you, people working in industry, people working in museums, people working in outreach, in libraries. We need people like you to get involved and to get active in your local community. Here's just some photos of Engineers Week from last year and an indication of the numbers. You can see it's a very big week. It's a series of nationwide events all over the country. So the week is our chance to really spread the word about engineering. There's still a lack of information out there, still a lot of misperceptions about what engineering is and what engineers do. So it's your chance to show your local community the positive impact that engineers have on society, on our cities, and on the environment. So it's your week, and you should make the most of it. So I'm going to start then with what's new this year, and I want to just show you around the Engineers Week website. It's a new website this year, and we hope that you will like it. So it's engineersweek.ie is the URL, and there's a countdown clock on the homepage with 28 days to go. Also on the homepage, you can subscribe to our mailing list. So if you're not getting at least weekly emails from us at this stage, please do sign up here just to keep up to date with everything that's going on. And then down the end here we have a blog, so you can get the latest news of what's going on as well. So the submission form for your events is live already here on the homepage. We hope you'll find this easy to use. You just fill in all the details of your event there. Now today, the 3rd of February, is officially the last day on which you can qualify to be sent some merchandise. We have a limited amount of merchandise in stock, t-shirts, pens, wristbands, that kind of thing. So today is officially the last day to submit your event and to qualify for merchandise, but there will be 1 or 2 days grace if you can get your event up by Tuesday the 7th. You may still be able to get some merchandise sent to you. And if you miss the merchandise deadline, there's still lots of reasons why you should list your event on our site. If you need to find an audience for your event, if you need to advertise it and promote it, definitely put it up there. We have a lot of people coming to the website all the time, and they're looking for things to do in their local area. If you list your event on the site, your event participants can also take part in a prize draw. We're going to be giving away an engineering show. We'll be able to visit a school and a Samsung tablet. So you can download the prize draw form from our website once you submit your event. In Engineers Ireland, there's also a nationwide media campaign that goes on to support the week. So they'll be looking very closely at all of the events that are listed on the site or that have been submitted. So make sure you do send in your event so that it gets included in all of the outreach around the country to the media. And also you should list your event just to make sure that your efforts are seen and that you're part of the bigger picture. So what else is new this year? We also have, if we go to the engineers section of the website, you can see there's a list there of ways to get involved in the week. The main ones being organise an event or visit schools in your local area. But we're also doing this year, this is especially for companies, an Engineering in a Box workshop. So this is a kit that you can order from a company that we've partnered up with called STEAM Education. So they will provide you with an engineering kit. It's a box that has everything you need to run an electrical engineering workshop for an hour and a half aimed at primary school children. So it has enough materials in the box to cater for 30 children, and there's a whole lesson plan there. You can generate power using lemons and also build a circuit. And there's a tutorial and everything that you need in the box as well. So there is a cost for that. It's €200 for the box. So if that is of interest, the details are on the website here. You can contact my colleague Roseanne on 665-1301 or email O'Leary@engineersireland.ie. So that's her phone number there, 665-1301, to find out more about that one. What else is new this year? We are fortunate this year in that International Women's Day falls during Engineers Week as well. So we have a section here on the website all about International Women's Day. So you might have to think, could you link your event in with the celebrations around that day? It's on the 8th of March, which is the Wednesday of Engineers Week. So we have here on the site a planning guide, especially for people who are organising an event to get girls interested in engineering. You can download that. It has all the details there of how to plan an event and some ideas for things that you might like to run. Also during the week, Discover E, which is the sort of US equivalent of the STEPS program, they're running what they call a global marathon, which is it's like an online conference for women in engineering. in industry and at third level. So there's details there of how you can get involved in that. And also there is an organization called the STEMettes, and they are offering a 30-minute documentary called Eat, Sleep, STEM, Repeat that you can show to young people. It's focusing on female tech entrepreneurs. So if you go you can link to that from our site and get in touch with them if you think you might like to maybe bring people in, bring maybe transition year or students or second level girls into your organization and put on a screening of that documentary. Also new this year, we have special packs for primary and second level teachers. So sometimes we find that teachers can't get out of the classroom, they can't bring the students out for a day or a half day. So we have a range of activities that they can actually do while they're still in the classroom. So you can direct them to the website. There's a challenge pack. They can download that, and there's lots of activity suggestions in it for them. And at second level, there's also a pack that they can download, and they can also enter a photo competition via Twitter. One other thing that we have going on this year is there's an online competition called I'm an Engineer, Get Me Out of Here, and there's a link to that from our website as well. So this is kind of an X Factor style competition. So we'd have a number of engineers would go online at various times over a 2-week period. I think it's just a half an hour at a time. There'd be a live online chat between an engineer and a class of students, and the students would be asking questions about engineering, and then there's, I think, an elimination round, and then eventually there's one winner, so you can actually win a prize of €500, which you can use for outreach. For STEM outreach and for engineering outreach. So the deadline for signing up for that is actually Monday. So if you want to get involved, just go on to imanengineer.ie, and I've heard great feedback that it's a lot of fun for people who take part. So that's everything that's new this year. So we'll talk a little bit about how to run a successful Engineers Week event. So as we saw under the Get Involved section here for engineers, there's different ways to get involved in the week. Oh, and Abby's just reminding me that if you do have questions, you can email them to engineerswebcast@gmail.com. I'll just put the address up there for a second, engineerswebcast@gmail.com. Do we have any questions yet? No, all is quiet so far. So we have here on this section, if you go to Get Involved in Engineers, we have an event planning guide that you can download as a PDF. You can print that out or have a look at it there. So there's lots of tips here about how to plan an event, how to promote your event, running the event on the day, and also how to evaluate your event, as it's important that you do find out from your participants how the event went. You might think it went great, or you might think it went just okay. So you need to kind of check in with people who have taken part so that you can tweak and improve your event for the next year. So the main thing when you're planning an event is to think about what a successful event would look like. So think about what is your goal for running this event. is it to raise awareness of engineering in your local community, or is your event to share careers information with second level students? So once you've thought about that, then that will lead you on to decide on who the target audience is, and to think about how many people you can accommodate. If you're bringing people in to your organization, do you have the facility for them? How many people can you manage? And don't forget that it's much easier for students to come out in a group of around 30. There's usually about 30 students in a class. So if you can accommodate 30 people plus a couple of teachers, that would be ideal. Then you can think about the structure and the format of the event. What type of event is it going to be? Are you going to do interactive talks? Are you going to do a tour of your facility? Are you going to do some kind of hands-on workshop? And make sure you think about the day and the time of your event. If it is for a school audience, it's better to have it earlier in the week, and also morning would be better than an afternoon. And think about logistics as well. If people are coming in, will they have far to travel? Can they come on foot, or will they have to come in by bus? And if so, can they hire a bus, or do they need some kind of financial support to hire a bus? So just think about that and any other kind of costs that might be involved in running the event. And also think about who's going to organize everything. You always need a few more people than you actually think you will. So the more people you can have involved, the better. And if you can get buy-in at a senior level, that would be a good thing to have as well. So there's lots of tips and advice there on how to run your event, and things to be aware of on the day. Also, there's extra support for running events if you go to the STEPS website. So steps.ie, if you go to the volunteer section, we have presentations there that can be adapted for the primary and post-primary audiences. We have activity suggestions there, and we also have child protection guidelines, which you should familiarize yourself with. But the main point about child protection is that make sure that no adult is left alone with a child, and the teacher should accompany the students in at all times. They should be present at all times. There's also on the STEPS website, in the volunteer section, there's a training page there, and that has videos and lots of communication tips for how best to communicate with young people. So I believe we have a question coming in there, Abby.
Yeah, we have one question from Rob Stephen. He's just asking about school visits during the week. So he just wants to know, do we need to record those visits on the Engineers Week website?
That is a great question. The short answer is yes. And I'll be coming on to talk more about school visits. It depends on whether you're registered as a volunteer with us or not. So I'll come on to that actually in a couple of moments. I'll just very quickly show you that there are some other support materials for you on the Engineers Week website. If you go to event resources and promote your event, there's things here that you can download. There's images and logos, there's stickers, you can print those out and use them on the day of the event. There's certificates, which younger students like to get certificates after they've been to an event, so you can print those out and distribute them on the day. We also have a customizable press release there if you want to do a bit of your own media. And we would encourage you to take photos and videos as well during your event. But just be mindful that if you're taking photos of children, you'll need to have parental consent. So we have a form there that you can download, and you can liaise with the teacher in advance and ask them to get that form filled out. Or a lot of schools will have a blanket parental consent that they agree at the beginning of the year that it's okay for photos to be taken, but just check with the school and make sure that that is covered, that your event will be covered under that kind of consent. And if not, you can print out the form there and just make sure that they're filled in in advance. So we have a hashtag for the week. It's hashtag EngWeek17. So you can share your activities, your plans, your photos on Facebook and Twitter with us using that hashtag. And what else? We also have some activity suggestions for little hands-on workshops that you can do. You can download the worksheets here. And also under this engineering activities section, there's lots of other resources here, things that you can download and print out. Lots of guides to help you communicate about engineering to young people. And you can keep an eye on the blog as well and see what the latest things are there in that section. So we'll actually go on and talk about school visits now. Let me see. So there's huge demand at the moment for school visits and for library visits as well. There's about 400 school visit requests currently on our system. So if you're thinking of visiting a school, please do. That would be fantastic. So if you're already a registered volunteer with us, you will have a login already to this Smart Steps volunteer portal. So your login is your email address, and you can request a password again if you've forgotten the password. So do log in and see what's in your local area. There's big demand for library visits as well. So for people who haven't registered with us, we would like you to register as a volunteer, but at the moment we've closed off registration because we're dealing with a large backlog of volunteer applications. But you can still go out during Engineers Week, you can still visit your local school, but you would need to arrange the visit yourself with the school. But in that case, do log the visit as an event on engineersweek.ie, and you can still use all our materials from the STEPS website. You can check out the videos there on communication tips and training videos, and there's presentations there, and again just familiarize yourself with the child protection guidelines. And we also need people to go out and visit libraries. We have requests at the moment in a lot of counties. We've got Carlow, Cork, Kildare, Laois, Limerick, Roscommon, Waterford and Wicklow. And for library visits, you can contact my colleague Nicola. She's in Kavanagh at engineersireland.ie. If you're in any of those counties that are listed there and you think you can do a library visit for us during the week, please do get in touch. If you have questions if you're not watching this live and you want to ask us a question, or a question occurs to you later, you can email in to steps@engineersireland.ie or give us a call. Any more questions coming in there, Abby? No, for the moment. That is it. So I think that is pretty much everything for today. Our contact details are there on the screen. I'll just go back to the website. Do check out the website. There's a lot of information there. The blog is updated regularly. Go to the Get Involved section. You can submit your event. You can see what other events are going on there as well, and there are lots of resources there for you. So that's it. There's 28 days to go, and happy planning. And if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And thank you very much for being with us here today, and happy Engineers Week.